Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the new Beacon House with our lovely co-host, Miss Grace Steele. Grace, say hi to our audience.
Whoop, whoop. Hello, guys.
Like, whoop, whoop. How are you this lovely evening, dear?
I am doing excellent.
I want to start out by saying thank you so much to all of our listeners and even old and new listeners that we picked up for all the incredible feedback on the first episode that Grace and I did together. You guys were very supportive, and I was just blown away at all the feedback.
Oh, I appreciate it all.
Yes. Did you get on your feedback on your end from friends or anybody that
I did.
Maybe I don't know?
People who don't even really know me that well. Like I got people who I even had an ex-boyfriend hit me up.
Yeah.
Right. And like no names, but he we don't talk to each other. I'm pretty sure he has me blocked. He's blocked on. I have him blocked, but he hit me up. And he was like, hey, just hope you're doing really well. He's like, I listened to your podcast. And the first thing that goes through my mind is like, you're blocked on everything. How do you know about this podcast? But somehow he knew about it. He found out and he messaged me and he was like, you sound great. You're funny. He said, you and your co-host, y'all energy together. They said he had a lot of compliments about you.
Oh.
Yeah, he said, oh, your voice, Grace, just sounds so good. And I said, well, thank you, because anyone that knows me knows that I hate my voice. So it's like, man, like, do I sound like a little kid?
A lot of people have a hard time adjusting to their voice when they first hear it recorded, because up until then, your voice probably sounds like it sounds in your head, you know? Mm-hmm. And when you actually hear it recorded and played back on a speaker or a headphone, it's weird to adjust to it. But I think you sound awesome.
Well,
also,
thank you.
And our listeners do too. And so thank you so much for being here again. Guys, thanks for joining us on Beacon House. What are we going to talk about today, Miss Grace? You had a basketball story recently, kind of.
Yes.
Basketball adjacent, perhaps.
Yeah, adjacent. Yeah.
Okay, tell us what happened there.
Okay.
Spin us a yarn.
So I was out a few weekends ago at Press Pub, and we were out there, and so we were dancing. There's this like funkadelic band, and I like had a group of friends with me. Like people were coming to meet us. Like we're all great time. I wasn't drunk yet.
Okay.
I wasn't there yet.
Starting innocently enough.
But we, all dancing. So like I saw this tall guy, right? Like he's like 6'7".
Tall drink of water.
Tall drink. And I'm not even into blondes, but he was blonde. Mm-hmm. Like bright eyes, blonde. Like when I saw him from afar, I was like
a fucking parade came out of the bathroom.
Yeah. It's like that saying, like when your friend's like, he is HOTT hot. Like that is, I remember seeing him. So I kept it to myself, because I'm in like mid dance, like I'm dancing with my friends, everything. And of course, like I'm looking and I see him, I'm like, oh, like that's a fine, attractive, blonde headed, tall man right there.
Fine specimen.
And I was like, okay. And I guess like a couple of like, I've walked by him a couple times and like he looks down at me and like I look up at him and like, but nothing is said. And like I go back to my booth, get my drink, another song comes on. So I run up and I'm dancing and like him and his friends are like his boys, they're all up there hanging out.
And you're a fucking pro dancer. So you're not afraid to cut a rug like in front of whoever. You're like, I'm about to show you.
Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Ain't no.
You look like a cowboy when you said that. You look like in Tombstone. You had that like your eyes were all squinty. You're kidding me. I'll dance you right into the grave, punk. Fucking, she's serious,
true.
Folks.
I am serious. No. So like you put any song, like I'm dancing, right? So like that's just what I love to do. It's good therapy. So, but that song ends or whatever, and like I'm going back from the dance floor back to my booth. And I see it happening. Like he's right. I'm going to have to pass him again, which I'm all happy about. Right. But there's this really intoxicated guy that's right next to him. And the guy is like bumping all up on him. This dude is 6'7". The other guy's got to be like 5'8".
Yeah.
The dude was about to elbow him straight in the face. Because the other guy's not paying attention to what's happening. And so I'm right there to save the day. Right.
Grace Steele comes swooping in from above to save this drunken fucking extravaganza.
So this guy, he's about to elbow him in the face, and I'm like right there, and I grab his elbow, and I was like, whoa. And he looks at me, and then I point to dude, and he's
Drunky
like, oh, yeah.
Face, yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, thank you. And he asked me what my name is, and I tell him my name is Grace, which usually, you know, I don't give out my real name.
Do you have fake names that
I
you
do.
use? Do you like have some stock ones? Like, tell us one.
I go with Lindsay
Lindsay.
all the time.
Any reason particular?
No, it just pops on the top. Maybe because Lindsay Lohan, she used to be hot. I don't know.
She also sued the fuck out of a friend of mine. We'll get to that story.
did.
She sued my friend Butch Walker. Yeah.
There's no reason for it. It's just Lindsay. Lindsay
Okay.
goes really well with Lindsay Steele. So I use Lindsay a lot. But I told him my real name. And he tells me his. Unfortunately, I don't remember it.
Right.
I
And
was-
this is part of the mystery. We're going to have our fans, our listeners.
If anyone can find him for me,
We're going to have you guys decode this mystery for us.
you can come to our wedding.
We need your help. So go on, Grace, tell them about it.
Okay, so he tells me his name. I don't remember. I think it's just because I'm in such awe of like how tall he's like over me, and he's like bright blue eyes. You know, I was like, oh, you know, are you from here? Never seen him before. And he's like, no, I'm not from here. I'm from New York. And he has a little bit of an accent, but I can't really pick up from where it is.
Right.
But I like it. It's suave.
And
sexy.
New York is one of those places like L.A. where
You'd be from anywhere.
you could be from anywhere. Nobody's
Anywhere.
really from there, so
Yeah.
an accent isn't necessarily a tip off. So the mystery deepens here.
Right. So I had no idea, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm in here. I'm here for business." And I was like, "Business." It's like, "What business are you doing here on a Saturday night in Knoxville from New York? Like, who
fucking
comes to
Perez
Knoxville?"
pub to do- yeah.
I know. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I was like, what do you do for a living?" He said, "I'm a professional basketball player." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't really get starstruck
Right.
easily. Like, I really don't. Like, they're just people.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, like if I saw like Maynard or like Adele or like Jennifer Lawrence, I think then I would be like, oh my God, Jennifer Lawrence is right there. She's so hot.
I also
oh my
like
God.
Jennifer Lawrence a
like
lot.
I'd be like, she's so funny. Do you think we could be friends?
She's
Like,
going to say something really charming, and that's going to be it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say whatever she wants to hear.
exactly. But I've seen stars out, and I've seen people, and they're just people. They're really just not trying to be bothered.
Yeah.
You know, like love their talent, love their work.
And a lot of famous people
You
I've
know?
met, I've found that they do better if you come up to them and you're just real sincere. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I love your work. I just want to say,
Yeah.
hey, thanks for doing what you do. And just don't be weird about it. And then fuck off real quick.
Right.
Don't
yeah.
take a blood.
I've met a lot of famous people, a lot of
Yeah.
celebrities, and I don't have pictures with them because I'm so embarrassed to be like, can I
Yeah.
get a, you know, like I don't want to do that. But it's like I had the experience and the memory of like meeting them and getting that whole experience. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's fine. Like, I mean, they probably wouldn't care if I wanted a
and
picture
you
anyways.
kind of strike me as the kind of person that would not be that blown away by meeting a famous person.
They're
you know?
just people.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to die just like me.
They are.
Like
That's
they're
true.
really just going to die just like me. I mean, there's
Yeah.
things that I'm probably good at that they suck at. So it's like, whatever.
They're sitting on the toilet.
Maybe they should be getting my
Eventually,
autograph.
They've got the cramps sometimes too. You know, they have a bad day.
They get
you know?
diarrhea once in a while.
They come out of the bedroom and step in water with their sock. You know, like they're just like us.
Yeah, they're just like us. So anyway, so he told me, and I was like, "Oh, you're a I was like a basketball player, and I was like, "Oh, are you here because you played for the Vols, right?" Like I didn't know who this dude is.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No," and he's like, "Do you know who the Knicks are?" And I was like, "Duh."
Yeah.
I know who the Knicks are. Like
Fucking the Knicks, bro.
It's the Knicks, right? And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." You know, trying to sound interested, but I wasn't really that interested because I don't really know anything about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Like I like basketball, but I was like, I don't know this.
Well, and they've been really unremarkable for many, many years. Since the 90s, the Knicks have just been awful. And every year, the New York fans hope that they're going to land a big star.
Get
They've got
better and
Kemba
better.
Walker now, and they're doing better. They might actually make the playoffs this year. And this guy you talk to might actually help with that. But we still,
Maybe we don't know who he
it's a
is.
fucking mystery.
So we're talking and everything, and you know, of course, like my first thing with guys is nowadays, like I got to be like, how old are you? How old are you? I'm you know, like I'm gonna be in my mid-30s. Like I got to make sure, like
You're not going to jail?
yeah, like how old are you? And he tells me his age, you know, and he's in his mid-20s, and I was like.
That checks out with pro athlete. Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like he's in his mid-20s. Like I could maybe get down with that. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he was beautiful, so it's just like you
Pro
know, that whole thing.
athlete, probably got a lot of stamina.
Yeah.
You know, fucking. It could be a wild ride. Could be a wild ride. Go on.
Still break him in half. I don't know.
Fucking believe it. She's tough, you guys. She's fucking tough.
So we're sitting there talking. We're having a conversation. I asked him what he's doing in Knoxville. He was talking about all the things that he was doing here. He asked me about the place that he went before. He asked me what I did. I was telling him about like what I do. Like genuine conversation we were having with each other. And then his boys was like, yo,
Posse up.
like we're out, we're going this way, we're going to this bar or something, right? And I was like, oh, you're leaving? And he was like, yeah, you want to go? And of course, like I stopped for a second and I'm like, well, yeah, I want to fucking go. Like, but then I had to bring myself back down to earth and be like, nah, you're here with like 10 people. Like you can't just
dip.
leave. Like you can't just dip and leave. Like you don't know this dude. He is in his mid-20s. Like
He might be a pro ball player. He might not. He might just be tall and good lying.
right,
Good at
yeah.
li-
He
good
could
at
be
lying.
like he could just be like totally lying about what he does,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which I didn't like. Of course, in my mind's like
It could just
he
be a gorgeous blonde catfish. you know,
Probably.
for all you know.
For all I know. So, of course, like I weigh the options in my head. Like, do I want a night with like this beautiful man? Like, this whole thing? Or am I just going to be like responsible and be like, no, I can't
You do all
that.
of this in a split second.
I do it all in a split second. So he sees my face and he starts walking more towards the door and he turns around at me one last time before he walks out of Prez Pub. And I'm literally in the middle.
You're like throwing.
Like
you're
my
throwing
friends are like 15 feet away from me. He's 6 feet away from me. He's looking at me at my 5'2" green eyes. I'm looking at his 6'7" blue eyes.
You're throwing a glass slipper at him.
Yeah, and he's like, do you want to come? He's like, you want to go with us? He was like, I got a place. He's like, our Uber's here. Just come. Like, grab your stuff. Just come on. Let's go. And I look at him. I said, I can't.
Oh.
Like, I did that, like, I'm sorry, with my hands up. Like, I wish I could. I can't. Have fun.
And then
I'll regret this tomorrow.
Prez Pub turns into a pumpkin. Like, you have to go home to your wicked stepmother
Yeah. So
and then hope that the prince finds you. This is
So that was it. So, but I can't remember his name.
So anybody can. So that's where this
If
is.
anyone saw a 6'7" blonde-headed dude that plays for the Knicks out a few weekends ago, and he was at Prez Pub, please just hit us up.
Hit us up. Grace needs your help. This is where we implore our listeners. Who was the ball player? He said he was a rookie, kind of. He wasn't. He said he wasn't like a super famous. He's probably one of the guys that's on the bench often. Is there anybody? Describe the man. Describe him to our listeners. See if anybody can track
So he had
down.
longer hair. I mean, it was up.
Yeah, like a man bun kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was up, but he had that chiseled face.
Yeah.
Very tall, very handsome, slender. He did have an accent. Like not like a New Yorker's accent, but a different accent. Like he lived somewhere else.
Yeah.
Another country, something. So there's that.
Which that also a lot of ball players come from other countries to play in
They
the
do.
NBA. So
They do, which is fine, because they got different. Like
he
they're
could be
more.
he could be a Swedish god of some sort.
God, I should have gone. I should have gone. All my problems would be over. Like what was it? There's my chance to be the woman on the yacht.
Yeah,
the
like
girl
you
on the
said,
yacht.
you go. I could be a girl on a yacht.
Anyway, so I did not. I declined and didn't go and don't remember his name. And
Another one that got away.
I know this happens.
Jesus, man. Well, if anybody knows who this hunk of blonde burning love is, it's a rookie for the Knicks who was in Knoxville. Reach out and let us know. We'll slide Grace into his DMs. And he's got one coming for him at that point. How the pre-holidays treating you? I know they're kind of stressful for a lot of people. I got a fucking taste of it today. I got a little bit of that holiday traffic. And I know traffic's always bad around like 5 o'clock in Knoxville, no matter where you are. But dude, I feel like this week, the week of Thanksgiving, I feel like it really intensified. Like I was in traffic as I pull out of my driveway. Like it wasn't just when I got on the interstate or it was fucking bad everywhere. Like everybody's scrambling for the holiday. How is it? How are things on your end with the holidays?
They're stressful.
Yeah.
It's just like the kickoff, right? Because it's Thanksgiving. We haven't even hit Christmas yet.
Yeah.
But it's stressful. And yeah, traffic's been horrible. Just like your traffic is, as soon as I get off my road, I'm just stuck. It sucks.
Yeah.
My mom is stressing me out. She's hosting Thanksgiving this year. She's having relatives over. We haven't had a bunch of relatives at our house for Thanksgiving in years. So it's like our first really big one. She's stressing me out. I'm just going to drink the whole time.
Dude, so I've mentioned that before the podcast. I've had several friends that worked in the liquor trade. They worked at various stores around here. We've even had past guests that have worked at liquor stores. And the holidays are absolutely that's their biggest time ever.
Yeah, because people are either drinking because they're lonely,
Yeah.
stressed, or super happy.
Yeah. But it's always just they're drinking like fucking fish during the holidays. Either to, like you said, either to cope or to just to accentuate whatever's going on, that kind of stuff. So now how are you with your family? You and your family get along pretty well? Do they test you a little bit?
They love to test me without knowing it.
Without knowing it?
Yeah, they like to push my boundaries.
Like they irritate them. They try to do their thing, but they irritate the fuck out of you?
They do. They really do. No, I am. So I come, my parents are divorced, but I get along with the majority of all my family.
Yeah.
There's no one that I'm like.
Is it complicated on the holidays? Which one you're going to do? Do you have to go do two different sets of holidays?
No, my dad lives in D.C.
Okay.
So he's up there with my stepmom. They're rocking it out up there, doing big things. No, so I usually don't. So since I have a daughter, she's here.
Yeah.
I always usually just spend the holidays here.
Perfect.
Close home, my mom, everything. That's just how it's been. This year, we're changing it up a little bit. Thanksgiving will be with my mom.
Yeah.
Christmas, I am going to St. Louis to spend with my dad and stepmom's side of the family with my sister. So I'll be up there for 5 days.
I like St. Louis.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, this is just a thought that has rippled through my mind a few times in the last few days. I'm thinking about extending my trip after St. Louis and heading west.
Heading west to the coast, maybe? To the mountains.
I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I even thought maybe just driving back instead of going through Nashville, just hitting Memphis.
Ooh, interesting.
Something.
Yeah.
I like road trips.
I do
I
too.
like traveling. I really enjoy it. I haven't been able to do a lot of it in the last few years.
Yeah.
But I just like it. I don't mind driving. I've done the drive to Colorado.
Holy shit, that's a long
4 times.
Wow. I can handle I've driven to Tampa, and I've actually been with guys. We drove all the way to Manhattan. But man, I can't handle road trips that long anymore. My legs go to sleep and I just get real antsy and I'm kind of
It's all about the playlist, those mixed CDs.
or maybe who you're with. Maybe
Yeah.
either I need to take road trips more by myself, where I've just got time to think and podcasts or whatever, or I need to go with more more interesting people where it's just fucking fun the whole time.
Yeah, I can do it either way. I can be by myself or I can be with people.
That's fucking
Doesn't matter
respect.
to me. I'm usually always the one driving.
Yeah. I always am too. Everybody else goes to sleep. If I'm ever riding with anybody, the minute we get back in the car, if we drive out of town to a concert, the minute we get back in the car, they're all out.
Can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
So one time in my life, I've been on a road trip with somebody that I was dating.
Yes. That's you've only done that once?
No. I've done it multiple times. But in
okay.
this particular story, we were coming back and their driving drove me nuts the entire way.
Horrible driver.
Not really, because he was safe, right? Not horrible, but it was I could feel every when you go on the gas and then you let up and then you go again.
It's one of those. It was a pumper.
It was I could feel every motion. I was getting upset with they weren't going fast enough to go around someone. So on this 9-hour drive, that whole time, it built this thing up where I just started getting so sick of their driving. I broke it off with them the next day.
You broke up with them because of their shitty driving? Oh my God, crazy.
Because the whole way, I'm thinking about how their driving is annoying me. So then other things they start annoying me.
You and your driving and your fucking toothbrush and that way you put the cereal away, you fucker.
We got in a fight, wouldn't let me the window down. I wanted the window down. It was my car. But I wanted the window down.
You weren't allowed
They didn't
to-
want the window down.
In your own car?
Yeah, it was my car. Like, they didn't want the window down. They wanted the air conditioning on. Well, I wanted my window down. So it's just back and forth, back and forth. And this is just the doom of dating me is like, it's like one day we're great. And the next day, like I spend too much time with you in the car. And the thing is we drove down together and everything was fine. But it was because I drove.
Oh, I see.
And then they drove.
Oh, man.
And I'm in the car for 9 hours. And
Rocking back and forth. Getting seasick because they can't keep steady pressure on the
and
gas.
while they're driving like this, like so serious, I'm just like looking over at them like, disgust.
Dude, a really good friend of mine, Hannah, who's a frequent guest on this podcast. You'll meet her soon. Shout out Hannah Isasaki. She told me a funny story about being in California. She went to California with her dad, and they had to drive up and down the coast to visit various family. So she's in the car with her dad, and her dad, she said, just randomly just sang real loud, not to the radio, just like they'd be riding along. She's on her phone, everything's chill, and he would just start blah, 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 da, 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 or he would get a harmonica out and just play it really loud, and she's sitting there just like pulling her eyelashes out, like God damn it. And he continued with that.
Ugh, that's horrible. I think road trips with your parents
Oh man,
are the worst. I couldn't do it. My mother stresses me out. She gives me so much anxiety.
I bet.
I get my anxiety from her. She has really bad anxiety. But I have me and my sister have severe anxiety, like where it physically makes us sick.
Well, now speaking of your family, didn't you say that recently another member of your family, possibly your brother, helped you out in a sticky situation, possibly like with a drunk guy or something?
Yes, I love Noah.
Talk to me about this.
Shout out to you, Noah. I love you, baby brother.
What up, Noah?
Yeah, so same night as Nick's boy.
Same night?
Same night.
Later the same night?
Later the same night.
Okay.
Later the same night. We are at Pres Pub.
Okay.
Me and my friend are going to the bathroom. We're waiting in line. If you've ever been down there, you know the downstairs
I
where
know.
they only have the two.
I know.
Yeah. So we're down there, probably taking a Snapchat video of me and my friend because we're cute and drunk.
And on the way to the bathroom?
On our way to the bathroom, right? And there's this guy, like a group of guys, and this one guy, he like, I guess, he tries to photobomb it, right? And it's like, he wants to get in. And so me and my friend are like, yeah, get in. Like, we're having a great time. Yeah. Looking back, and I was like, God, Grace, this is so annoying.
I wish you guys could see Grace right now. Like, the sarcasm on her face is absolutely electrifying.
I am so glad that you see that. A lot of
Dude.
people don't see my sarcasm, and they're like, we need to work on your sarcasm skills and the timing. And it's like,
No,
dude,
they-
my sarcasm is on point.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I don't understand what you're talking about. It's you who are not picking up on the signals.
You have the cutest cruelty. This look when you tell stories about like the douchebag trying to photobomb.
Oh, my cruel. Just kidding.
Like, in
but
the
he
best
did.
way.
Yeah, yeah. So we're in front of the thing, and this dude puts his hand on my stomach.
Oh.
Okay? Which I handled. I smacked his hand away. I said,
Yeah.
dude, don't touch me. It's not okay. I don't know you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not yours. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
I didn't give you permission. Next thing I know, trigger warning, he grabs my vagina.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like full on, as if I'm a guy and has balls, goes and grabs
What?
my privates. Like straight up, like,
Like a bowling ball?
yeah,
Whoa.
just like that, straight up. I smacked his arm so hard. I pushed him. I, go beep, beep, beep. If you ever, da, 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 da. And I look at him and I said, if you ever touch me like that ever again, I will hit you so hard in the face. And I push him, and my brother comes over. He sees it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like 20 feet away, but Noah is always watching me. He's such a good brother.
That's
Noah
awesome.
is always having an eye on where I am.
Is he younger or older? Did you
Younger.
Younger. You already said that. Okay. Yeah.
He's younger. He's always watching where and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Always. And he sees me, and he comes up, and he thinks I'm being crazy drunk Grace.
So he comes over to save the guy.
Yes. He comes over to save him, and
Yeah.
he comes up and he's like, Grace. Like he looks at the dude and he says, hold on a second. He's like, Grace, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? Like, let's go sit down. And I look at him. I said, no, This dude just grabbed my vagina. And my brother, you should have seen his face. He looks at me and goes to dude, and you could tell the fear on this man's face when I say that. Because he doesn't have anywhere to go. He's literally in a corner.
There's not much room back there.
There's not much room. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 5'2", but I've backed this man into a corner already. Like, I'm mad. Like, you've touched me twice now without permission. And one, that is sexual harassment.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
like sexual assault.
It
really.
did. Yeah, you could totally get that
Yeah.
stick.
And so my brother looks at him and says, "That's my sister.
Uh-oh.
Me and you are going outside, buddy."
Wow, fucking
So me and my friend, I look at Noah, and Noah's like, "Go to the bath." Like he knows I need to go to the restroom.
Go piss.
He's like, "I got this, Grace. I got this." And so I go to the bathroom. He takes dude out. They don't get in a fight, but he does. He does
ejects him.
escort. He does take dude and make sure that he left the bar. So, but it was just, that was crazy. But yeah, but Noah is.
Kudos to your brother for being a fucking stand-up guy.
Yeah, I just love how he thought the guy was in trouble. He needed to come save him.
Man, dude. So we were talking recently, and you said a couple cool things. I wanted to maybe revisit that for some of our listeners, because I know on our first episode together, you talked about some like do's and don'ts on the dating apps, and I actually got a lot of response from people that were like, "Dude, that was cool." She thought like that helped me. I changed my profile, you know. But you also were talking about
That's good. That makes me happy.
You were talking about like when guys hit on you, or when you're being hit on by guys and stuff, like how you kind of. You had a very classy story about how you kind of let them down easy.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was fucking great.
You know, like it takes a lot of courage for a man or a woman to, you know, text someone, send them like a Facebook message, or come up to them in a bar.
Yeah.
And compliment them, hit
Grab
on them,
their vagina.
grab our vaginas.
Yep.
And I always try to, like, when that happens, be like, "Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much for telling me, you know, that I'm beautiful. My eyes. Oh, you like this band too." I wear Tool t-shirts a lot, and so I constantly, men are coming up to me like,
"Oh, Tool, yeah,
Tool, you like Tool."
And it's like if you see a girl, if you're into like rock or metal or anything a little just off the beaten path, and you see a girl wearing that shirt, it's like cocaine. I mean, you're just like, "Oh my god, she's
I've
cool."
realized that.
Oh, yeah,
I have
amazing.
like 3 Tool shirts.
Yeah.
I wear band shirts a lot.
Yeah, dude, I do.
I really do.
wear one
Like,
right
I
now.
just like music and all in general. But
a
when
lot.
that
A lot of those guys have been around girls. They're kind of like, "I don't like your loud music." You know, like music is like some music is actually louder than others. Like like volume isn't relative.
You listen to a lot of loud music.
Man, I love that music.
I do too.
I can't even do the voice, but you know what I'm
that
talking
was
about.
terrifying.
I love it. I love me some heavy metal.
But you get a lot of guys probably coming up to you.
Yeah, and I always try to let them down with dignity.
Yeah.
Like, they did not do anything wrong. There is nothing. You did not do anything wrong. I'm just not in a place. I appreciate.
Or I'm currently seeing somebody.
I'm currently seeing someone. I'm not in the place. I'm here with my friend. I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
So I really try to like let them down. And let them know I appreciate. Hey, you did everything right. Like, you approached me.
I think that's great.
appropriately. You waited for the right moment. You know, you said the right thing. Like, I mean, I could probably go in my messages right now and find where someone was
a whole
just
shitload
like,
of good letdowns.
good letdowns, but also ones that are just where they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, that mouth looks good," or like,
God damn it.
or like some like stupid Tool douchebag thing that they say, and no, I do not let them down with any dignity. I like to just
Well, not
roast their
everybody
ass.
deserves it. Like nice, the ones that are nice maybe deserve it. But
like,
you know
really,
what?
man?
I tell you what, man, I think a lot of guys, if they thought a girl would say something along the lines of, "Hey, listen, I'm not available right now," or "I'm not just," but you did everything right. I feel like if people imagine that was a response, they would probably be a little more brave, or at least they wouldn't worry about the rejection, because that almost comes wrapped up in a nice little bow. It's not that cold rejection that people fear, you know. And people handle rejection in a lot of weird ways. You ever see a guy that like hits on a girl, and then the girl goes, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not interested," or "I'm not feeling it," or blah blah blah, and then he just attacks her. Like so many guys.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me.
Fuck you, you fucking bitch. Like
I've had one guy after he's hitting on me. go and be like, well, you need to fix your eyebrows. Like, first of all, that's a lame criticism. Like, I know I don't need to fix my eyebrows. You just came over to hit on me, dude, and now you're telling me to fix my eyebrows.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know, like, it's like, well, then what was the point? Like, okay, well, now I'm very glad that I said
And
no
that
to
dude,
you.
I think what the fuck that is. That's one of those people that's got like a bruised ego, but also probably somebody that was so scared. Like that fucking dude, guys that act like that, I would imagine probably have to like go to the bar and do a shot, and then they think all this crazy stuff, and like then they come up and like they're so like nervous that when you go, hey, look, man, it's not like fuck you, like fuck, I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Blah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're in that position, dude, if it's that touch and go, maybe don't hit on people. You know what I mean?
Maybe don't hit on someone at a bar.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the time, the women, women like being hit on, but I'll tell you that I don't go home with guys that I meet at the bar.
Yeah.
Like,
Indeed.
Like the people that I've dated, I've never dated anyone that I've met at a bar.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen because people do. It's just like I haven't. So it's like,
Yeah. And I find a lot of times guys are at bars looking for women, but a
What
lot
are
of
they
times
looking for?
women are at bars to just like get away from their guy that's at home or
Mm-hmm.
to like be with the girls or something. Like women aren't necessarily always out to get picked up, but I mean I know sometimes they are. I know girls.
it's
that
nice to hear it, but no.
Well, I wanted to talk about something. You had mentioned. You mentioned on our previous podcast that you have this like massive history with dance. And I thought about, and you have been, if I'm correct, you have been trained in a bunch of like very like classical dance styles. Like you did ballet and you've done ballroom and you've done jazz, like the real shit, and not just
Yeah.
like, yeah, woo, I'm twerking. You know?
I've danced point ballet with broken toes.
Fuck. Well, how about this? I thought it'd be fun to ask you a question about like, what kind of a dance should everybody have in their repertoire? Even somebody that's doesn't have any rhythm, like when they go to a wedding and it comes time, is that when people dance at slow dance? Is that a waltz? Is that
I would say the waltz,
yes,
tango, or the swing. They're very simple steps.
yes,
So, but you have to have a partner with these.
okay,
So, like, weddings, parties, anything. Those are things, and they're very simple to learn.
And when I've had to dance with people at a wedding, and I just sort of like hold my hand out and do like you see people do in the movies, but I'm not really thinking about it. I don't actually know the steps or anything. If somebody wanted, because everybody has to game up their repertoire to be in society. Like if you're going, like you've got to have a wardrobe, you've got to have a grooming regimen down. Even if you're a sloppy old dude, you got to have something you have to take care of yourself. But I feel like people should also be armed with a couple simple dances.
Yeah.
And you're saying the waltz,
The swing, or
and
like the tango.
the tango. Can you briefly break down the difference in those?
So the waltz is as old as time.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what you see in like when they're dancing like to classical music or
Yeah.
anything, is you see them doing the waltz. It's a very 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a basic step. I always like to see, like, if you've seen Beauty and the Beast,
Yes.
where Belle and the Beast are dancing across the floor, that's a waltz.
That's a waltz.
That's a waltz.
That's the classic two-person.
Yeah, and you can only dance the waltz to a waltz.
Okay.
Right, and it's a very classic mood, right?
And is the Tennessee waltz the same as any other waltz? Just it's called the Tennessee waltz, or is that just a song?
It's different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more maybe more country. Not sure. I'm not 100% sure what the Tennessee waltz is. I'm not
It's where you do a
professional
normal
on that.
waltz and at the end you butt chug. Just kidding.
Oh, I guess I need to learn what that is.
Do you not know the story about the butt chugging? There was a fraternity on camp. Actually,
Is this just now?
No,
because
that's
there's a fraternity
got
that
closed.
Yeah, for 5 years. Man, those frat boys are bad.
5 years.
5 years. These frat y'all, come on. Let me just shout out. I was never a girl to go to frat parties. I have been to a couple, but man, let me tell you, like, y'all got to go easy. Like, y'all got to go easy on this hazing and this drinking. Like, come on.
Yeah, and that's coming from somebody that can hang. Like Grace
I got
Steele
Jameson in front of me. Like,
Grace Steele's holding a shot of Jameson right now and telling y'all you need to slow down. Y'all better
I need
listen.
to slow down.
No, dude. So there was, yes, I heard about the frat that just got closed down for hazing and
It's like the longest running fraternity at University of Tennessee.
maybe, but there was one like years ago, like maybe 10 years ago. And the guys were literally, it was like an initiation or something, but they were butt chugging. So you know, have you seen people funnel alcohol?
Yeah, they're putting it in their butt.
Pouring it in their
more
ass.
fucked up.
You get more
quicker.
fucked up. And so they were just pouring like vodka in each other's ass, and the whole fraternity got like a bunch of them got alcohol poisoning, and there may have even been the one guy died or something.
Yeah.
But that was UT. And we were nationally famous for butt chugging for just a minute.
We're such idiots.
It's true.
God, we're idiots.
So, but anyway, so what's the tango?
So the tango, I mean, it's a Spanish dance.
Yeah.
You know, and it's more faster. And it's like more, it's sexual. It's,
Yes.
You know, risque.
Is that sort of like the entryway, the gateway drug to like salsa dancing? Okay. The tango is that.
Yeah. And then the swing, the push pull swing.
It's kind of like one of those like the back and forth kind of.
Yeah.
I love watching swing dance.
And it's a really simple dance.
Yeah.
And so those are things. But look, I've won. Your girl's a gangster.
I knew this, but tell us why.
Okay. So in 2009,
09.
3-6 Mafia, okay, and Computer and Lil White came to Southbound before it was Southbound. I can't
Okay.
even remember all the names it's been through.
Yeah.
And I won the dance off. This white girl right here.
And you were doing hip hop dance, I'm assuming. Yeah.
won.
Fuck. And hip hop dance, is that like crumping? What is?
Well, no, crumping is a different form of dancing,
Okay.
and that's like a whole nother thing. Though this was just like I'm just playing
Yeah,
hip hop
yeah.
music, dancing. Do you remember the song "Kiss Kiss" by Chris Brown?
Yep.
Which I feel like "Kiss Kiss" is such like a white girl hip hop. Like, well, now that I think about it, I was like, man, like, is
In
that a little
hindsight.
hindsight, looking at that. No, so they put that on, and I was the last girl standing.
Dang, Grace Steele, what up?
I was the last girl on stage. Everyone else got off. Computer put his chains around my neck.
Bro, you are a gangster.
But yeah, so we were on
Dang.
stage, and so I was up there the whole rest of the time.
Fucking amazing, bro. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Post congratulations. Dude, when I was a kid, I was super into breakdancing. But
Were you?
But it was in the 80s, and breakdancing was very trendy. And there was a whole culture built around it with like crazy pastels and parachute pants and like a certain type of Nikes, and it was just a thing. It was easy to get sucked into that as a kid. But as I grew older, I still continued to watch some of the best in the world. And for a long time, Red Bull was doing these like BC1 B-Boy championships and stuff. And I have spent gazillions of hours watching the guys that are on those. And one of my favorite dancers is a French guy named Lilu. And man, that fucking guy. Breakdancing for a long time, the guys that would do the big crazy like windmills, they considered those power moves because they're super athletic. But then it started to get real complicated, and there was another style called threading, where they would like, as they were on the ground, they would like hold one foot, and they appeared to literally, like you're threading a needle, put another arm through it, and it looked like they were just tying themselves in knots. And it all happened real quick, and it was super, super technical. But some of these guys out of France were doing it. And when you saw them do it, they just won all the championships. But it was exhilarating to watch these guys go back and forth.
Breakdancing is awesome to watch, like what they can do. I can't do it.
Well, obviously, I can't either.
Even
But
like with my extensive background, I can't break dance.
it's phenomenal. But I have always been a big fan of dancers. So I'm thrilled over time to be able to pick your brain about dancing and the mechanics
right
of
ahead.
dancing.
I love it.
I think that's awesome. I'm
It's
glad.
something that I enjoy dancing. It's a natural ability that I have.
Yeah.
It's probably why I'm so good in bed.
Well, I'll take your word for it. And it probably is. If you've got that kind of rhythm, that kind of stamina, if you can count, if you know which foot to land on, or
It's
elbow.
like rock back and forth. Like
Yeah.
you gotta
But there is a rhythm. Have you ever been in an intimate situation with somebody and you just can't get the rhythm right?
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking horrible.
It is horrible.
It's absolutely horrible. Have you ever had to just like tell somebody stop? Just
I will tell you something. I am not afraid to tell someone
don't move. I'll do the moving.
no, that or just like, stop.
Oh man.
I've had to do it numerous times. Just stop. Like this is
You've
just,
in the middle of mid coitus, you've had to tell somebody, look, quit.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
this is just it's not working.
What was their fucking reaction like?
They left.
Yeah, I bet. Oh,
I mean,
dang.
of course, like you just had this girl, this woman, you know, And of course, they're enjoying it.
What do you think? Let's get. And obviously, this is going to be. We're going to talk about a lot of sex because Grace is obviously.
I'm a very sexual.
You're a very
person.
sexual person, and also you're very smart. So not only are you a sexual person, you have a lot of insight into this. So I think we're definitely going to get into this. But what would you say if you just out of the gate? What is the biggest mistake that dudes are making in the bedroom?
Going too fast.
That's what I've heard. Like trying too hard, just trying to bust a nut and get to it. No foreplay.
Just rushing it. Going too fast.
Yeah. Assuming that what feels good to them feels good to you. Yeah.
I can't stand it. If we're I can already tell from the moment of us kissing and how you're placing your hands if this is going to work. Don't be like trying to manifesting something that's not even there yet.
Yeah.
Like let it just happen naturally.
And I would add to that too, like communicate. Like talk to each other about what you like and like how you like it.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's nothing wrong with after y'all do something, laying back, being like, hey, when you did this, I really liked this. Or, hey, next time I need you to like kiss me more here. Or,
yes.
Because that's what develops a great sexual relationship.
Absolutely.
You can't be afraid. And really, it's a matter of also finding that partner.
That can take
the right partner.
Yeah. And that probably goes beyond the bedroom. That probably extends throughout the relationship.
I will
somebody
say
that can take constructive criticism, somebody you can talk to, somebody that's really, really willing to put in they're willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
To get you and them off, whatever.
That's true. And I will say, I have more orgasms with guys that I connect with on a different level than just sexually.
And
100%.
Yes, I feel the same way about girls that I date too. That I've got to have an interest in the person or the, there's a lot of attractive people that I don't know anything about them, but generally when I find myself in those situations, I at least have some kind of respect for the person, or I think there's something great about him.
I've had a few partners where I would say it's been the best sex of my life.
Right.
Like we all have those couple where it's just it's hit the nail.
Sometimes
every single time it's just right there. There's you want it all the time. There's no pressure. It's going. But as soon as you lose feelings for that person, the sex is ruined.
Yeah.
It's ruined.
I agree.
And so I've been there.
Agree.
And I've had sex with people that, I'm pretty sure everyone has, where you've been I want that person, right? Where you've been wanting them for years or whatever. You've had a crush on someone, or it was someone from high school.
Like a legacy crush.
Yeah, it was someone that you've been wanting, and then you get them. And it's the worst sex of your life. And you're willing to give it another shot.
Because it just can't be this bad.
It just can't be that bad. This person is so attractive. Y'all get along in every other department. Let's just try it one more time. Maybe there was some butterflies going on. Let's just try it again.
Yeah.
It's worse than the first time.
Dude.
Horrible.
And part of that's probably because you built it up in your mind.
Maybe.
But some people will say that a lot of now again, I can't confirm nor deny this, but I've heard a lot of people say that ultra attractive people, the people that a lot of people have a crush on, that are just they have a string of people following them wherever they go that are trying to fuck them or date them or whatever. Those kind of people sometimes are very not good in the bedroom because they don't have to work for it. They can kind of get anybody in the sack that they want. Now, they may not have a lasting relationship, but as far as getting people, luring them into the bedroom or on the kitchen table or wherever. That's sad because they don't have to they've not had to work to keep anyone's attention. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure there's some very attractive people that are.
Must be tons of people out there not getting orgasms because of that. That's sad.
I don't know. I've had people tell me that, because they were talking about their relationship where they said they don't really like to have orgasms because they don't like to lose control.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. Hang on. Do you what?
I need an orgasm before I have coffee. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
Like you might be able to pop 3 out of me before the day starts. I don't know. That's strange.
Yeah. There's a
I don't
lot
like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. I think a lot of people develop weird things where they're just like very anti-sexual. Maybe because they've had a bad experience, or maybe because the crush went wrong when they finally nabbed them.
That's true. Now, I would say I'm hypersexual just because of things that have happened to me in my life that have caused me to be this way. But I am very comfortable sexually.
And I think you should
I'm
be.
not, dancing up in dance. I was around women constantly changing clothes. Being naked in front of a person, whether it's a man, female, whatever, doesn't bother me. It doesn't have to be sexual.
Right.
I'm okay with that, right? But I'm very comfortable talking about sex or being who I am.
Well, it's such a big part of who we are.
Yeah.
Your sexuality is a huge part of who you are.
Everyone's always trying to stuff it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a taboo. And it really shouldn't be.
No, and it should be. You should be able to talk about it, and nothing should be. There should be. And there is a. I know that there's like a level where I was going to say nothing should be taboo, but some things, like when you start to get into things that are like illegal or potentially dangerous. Again, consenting adults can do whatever they want to do within the boundaries of consent, I guess. But there are some things that I think maybe, like kid stuff, like when people are into like child porn and they're, or have you heard of like these people they call MAPS? It stands for a minor attracted person, and it's really just a fancy internet way of saying a pedophile. But there's a lot of weird like websites and stuff where they'll say it's like in the defense of a minor attracted person, and they're like, and they're weird as fuck, man. Like they'll justify.
I don't think I want to know about this.
Yeah, dude.
I have a kid.
They justify it in all these terrible ways. Like, well, if a kid's old enough to get their driver's license, they should be old enough to make a decision about their body, and like it's creepy shit like
They're
that.
kids.
Yeah, dude.
They're kids. Like you have no reason to be doing that to children.
And I feel like people like that should seek therapy. But beyond that, like I think that a person's sexuality should be 100% something that they're comfortable with, that they're comfortable talking about. I mean, it's just life is bad if you're not. If you have to bottle all your shit up, if you have to carry around a ton of shame, you know what I mean? Like that's bad. That's fucking bad news. I think it's bad to like kink shame too, and to like we talked about that on the podcast before, like kink shaming people. Like, I mean, you like what you like. There may be deep psychological reasons. Like they say, a lot of your kinks are born out of like either trauma or like fear. They're fear based. If something scared you when you were little, like you might develop like a fetish for that down the road. Or a situation, and there's a lot of weird stuff like that.
Maybe that's like why I like to be choked so much.
Whoa, do you really?
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that do.
Yeah,
I'm not one of them, but I know people.
I'm such an alpha female.
Yeah.
Anyways, in life, like just in general,
yeah.
I am. Everyone who knows me will be like, she doesn't take no.
Don't fuck with her.
She's gonna do what she wants to do when she wants to do it.
Yeah,
like.
So are you? Okay, so let me ask that then. As far as choking goes, and I've had people instruct me to choke, during sex and I was sort of like, whoa, and I was super like, wait.
You never done it before. You didn't.
I didn't want to hurt you, and they're like, no.
No, hurt him.
We'll tell him. Well, but you
hurt him
from this side of it. You don't want to like hurt your partner.
Well, no, but if they're like, I mean, and that's when it becomes like a trust thing. So like, me and like someone who I was sleeping with, we were in a situationship. I won't mention his name. So me and him are very compatible sexually.
Yeah.
Like 100%. We're compatible in almost every single way there is.
That's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Somebody that just like you seem up perfectly, or doesn't think anything you like is weird, and they're just on board.
Yeah, like
let's
just
fucking
100%, no judgment, everything. We've been friends for over a decade. We've known each other for so long.
That may be part of the compatibility.
But it's just like every aspect of our personality, everything, we're just compatible to a T. I mean, no one's perfect. Like there's always cracks, but sexually, I will say 100%
peas
compatible.
And carrots.
So I trust him.
But
you have to be able to trust your partner, because sometimes girls like.
But you got to set that shit up. Like you've got to have the safe word. You've got, like I said, consent. But I'm here to tell you guys, like take my word for it, dude. When you get all that shit lined up, like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Like, here's how far, like that trust, that in itself is another fucking element of the whole sexual experience that's like,
It is.
just amplifies it. So,
Because when you find out things that you like, because it was with this particular person that I found out that I have
certain things that you didn't
certain
know.
things that I did not know that I enjoyed. And I've only done them with him. I don't do them with anyone else. It's just been with him. But it was that trust thing,
Yeah.
like a major trust. And I was just comfortable.
Do you feel like you're so much into those that if this were to go away and there was to be somebody else come along?
And it happens that way sometimes.
Yeah, well, sex is sort of the wonderful and unfortunate thing about sex is it's kind of designed to bond you. And like I know a lot of people think that that's not true, but scientifically it actually is. Like there are chemicals that are released that bond people when they're super intimate with each other. But yeah, that's experiences kind of become their own thing with that one person. That's a real thing, and that's biologically provable. Like you could prove that in a lab with chemical tests that like people all these things they excrete chemicals or when they're together and especially when there's something new like that, and it is just that one time. Like it's never the same with anybody else too.
It's just not the same.
So that's both terrifying and exciting at the same time. You know,
I mean, I'm sure it would get there with someone new, but it's just
it'd be a whole different thing. Well,
just finding out how dirty I am.
I think you are very intelligent. I think this is I think a lot of people need to be able to hear. Some people have a hard time talking about that stuff.
They do,
or
and
they want somebody to talk about it to them, and they don't know how to ask, or maybe they are.
Let me just say, sex is human nature. All animals do it.
Yes,
We all have sex, right?
that's completely true.
You got to just let it flow.
Well, and it's not an accident. It's not there by accident. It's not one of these. And I know some people have opinions about when you should do it. Should you wait for marriage? Should you not? Whatever. Whenever you decide to do it, and that's a whole discussion. That's a philosophical discussion about, does religion play into it and blah blah.
No, I'm not even talking about religion. Let's just talk about the act
actual
of
act,
sex.
yes.
Like, let's just talk about
Because there's
sex.
a lot of religious married couples that have awkward sex because they never open up to each other.
I have a friend. Oh my god!
And that's
I
the
feel
worst
so
thing of
bad
all.
for him. It's
Inside of a
just-
marriage, when the sex is wrong because you just can't open up or whatever. Yeah, we're not just talking to the people that are like.
But religion has told them that like they can't do that.
or they've shamed it. Yeah,
And it's just like that's so sad.
yeah. And honestly, man, like
That's so sad.
I think that,
Because if you're married, sorry to interrupt.
but it'd be hard to believe that, even for religious people. I think if you really look at it and look at how we're designed, to think that like I don't know, man, like
The person you marry is the person you're supposed to trust. And if you're looking at a religious perspective from, let's say just Christianity,
Yeah.
that's the person you're supposed to spend your life with, right? Well, that's the person who you're supposed to be having sex with.
yeah,
That's the person that you should
Be the
having
most-
the most awesomest, that's not even a word,
it
sex
is now. Yeah,
ever with. Like you're supposed to be like orgasms daily, right? But I know I have friends who are married. I have a friend, he just got divorced. Couldn't do anything. He realized that he was into a bunch of stuff.
yeah.
Like not even like freakishly weird. Like I'm into some like freakishly
The look on
weird
her face
stuff.
was fucking terrifying just now.
But like his stuff is like, to me, is like norm. Like that's normal. Couldn't do it in his marriage. They ultimately destroyed their marriage. He's not happy. She's not happy.
So like he brought it up and she was like, no.
They tried it. She just couldn't get past like, this
Yeah.
isn't right. Like this isn't.
Man, and look, dude, that's where I'm like, hey, I get it. I've got multiple friends that waited until they were married or are currently trying to wait until they're married. I actually dated a girl for a couple of years one time who had never had sex, and she was waiting till she was married, but we were so compatible that I went along. I mean, we did other stuff, but like I went along with it, and I was totally never trying to like this was a thing she was like 20 something. And I was like, I'm not going to be the guy that tries to talk you into breaking that. So whatever your fucking
That's exactly what it is.
conviction,
It's a palate.
convictions is what I meant to say a minute ago. Okay.
It is a palate, and it's growing, and there's nothing wrong with it growing as long as it's healthy.
Well, and I'd say
Right?
too, once you get into a situation like that, like with a significant other, if you've had this super puritanical, like kind of vanilla sex life or whatever, and then you go, all right, we're great, and you seem to be both happy. You get into a marriage or whatever, and then somebody sees something like you said on the internet, and they go, whoa, I'm kind of like, oh, all of a sudden this is really turning me on. I think as the partner, unless it's just something like real dangerous, you should be prepared to kind of go, okay, look,
I'll try it.
let's try it out. What do I got to do? Like, it should be forthcoming, you know, like ready to dive in and please each other.
Yeah. So it's very important to have an open mind. And if you care about something, to be willing to try it and don't close it off, so quick.
Oh, well, I know, man, and I 100% agree with that, and I think it's actually kind of a sweet story too. Like, I actually have a friend, and I won't say any names, but I have a friend, but she has a fetish site, a fetish website, and it's nothing crazy, it's nothing even really graphic, but her partner, or her boyfriend, is not into it at all. Like, she's tried, and he's like looked at the site, and he's just not into it at all. He's just a lot more. He's more puritanical, like I was talking about. But he doesn't shame her for it. He's super into
that's so
he
good.
He does the videos for her. Like, he's totally like her production assistant. He's along for 100% of the ride. Like, helps her set the stuff up. Like,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. A supportive partner right
he's
there.
As involved as you could get without actually being turned on by it. But again, and she claims that just that alone, and she makes some pretty good money at it too. So they're not only generating an income, but like that trust and that willingness to sort of like, all right, well, what do we got to do? What do you want me to take pictures of your elbow, your feet, whatever we're doing here? Like, that strengthened the bond between them a lot. So in a weird way, they got a lot closer. And I'm pretty sure the things that they did do sexually also elevated.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Like, when you have a partner, and if your partner really, it doesn't mean that that's not your person.
Yeah.
It just means like they're just not into that kink.
Yeah, just
right?
like they don't
But
like,
if they're willing and they care about you so much, and they're willing to be like, okay, I'm not into that, but I know you're into that, and these are things they're doing. Like,
I'm all in.
How can we make this happen? Of course, your other sexual life is just going to rise. Like,
it's like if you had a significant other, your wife or somebody was like, I really like to eat Brussels sprouts, right? And you didn't like them. Like, if you're a decent fucking person, you're going to go to the store and buy all the Brussels sprouts they have and come back and go, all right, how do we cook them? What do we do? I'm not eating them, but let's get it. Let's do it. If you really want to make somebody else happy, you won't let all your personal shit get in the way of it, you know? Yeah. And generally, that if they're also a good person, that'd be reciprocated. So
just don't be selfish.
Yeah, that's probably a good note for us.
Don't be selfish.
We're getting close to our time. That's a good note to end on. Don't be selfish. Be the team, and you might even get some butt play out of it. And don't grab anybody's vagina.
No.
And watch for holiday traffic. And
find me that beautiful Knicks player.
Find that Knicks player, because Grace may also discover that she has a basketball fetish.
Yeah, and for blondes.
For blondes. So, yeah, you guys get to work. Anyway, here's Beacon House signing off again. I'm not sure exactly what day this is going to drop on, but we want to wish everybody a happy and a safe Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And
gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble. That wasn't sexual.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, my.